Good day, learners. I am Jennifer Pasay, your teacher for today's lesson. In this video, you will learn about the role of hormones involved in the male and female reproductive system. Specifically, it will explain the hormones secreted by the male reproductive system, explain the hormones secreted by the female reproductive system, discuss the role of hormones involved in the male and female reproductive system using an illustration, and lastly, explain the effects of the hormone secretion in the development of an organism. Sounds interesting, right? Grab your module, notebook, and pen to take note the important details. Are you ready? Let's begin. To further discuss our new lessons, let's have a quick review. When you were in grade 5, you have learned about the different parts of male and female reproductive system. Let's find out if you still remember. Please complete the diagrams. I will give you 5 minutes to answer. Your time starts now. You only have 5 seconds left. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your time is up. If your answers are correct, great job, students. At your age, you already experienced physical and emotional changes, right? That is called puberty. So what is puberty? Puberty is the developmental changes a child undergoes to become sexually mature and physiologically ready for reproduction. It normally begins between the age of 8 to 14 in females and between the age of 10 to 16 in males. Hormones are responsible for those changes in your body. So what is hormones? Hormones are chemical substances that act like messenger molecules in the body and secreted by the endocrine gland directly into the blood. It plays a vital role in individuals' growth, development, metabolism, reproduction, mood, and sexual function, while sex hormones are responsible for driving sexual development. Hormones secreted by the male reproductive system. Let us begin the journey of male reproductive hormones in the brain. Looking at the part of the diencephalon, we can find the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. During puberty, the hypothalamus starts secreting GnRH, or gonadotropin-releasing hormones. It travels to the anterior pituitary gland, which stimulates the secretion of the two important hormones. These are FSH, or follicle-stimulating hormones, and LH, or luteinizing hormones. These two hormones have separate functions and travel into the testes. LH enters the testes and stimulates the interstitial cell of Leydig to make and release testosterone into the testes and the blood. What are the functions of testosterone? It promotes spermatogenesis. It develops male secondary sex characteristics and sex drive. Here are some male secondary sex characteristics: deepening of voice and growth of facial hair, broadening of chest and shoulders, enlargement of penis and testes, and growth of pubic hair. Rising levels of testosterone acting on the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary gland to inhibit GnRH and LH. FSH enters the testes and stimulates the Sertoli cells to enhance the production of androgen, promote spermatogenesis, and secretion of inhibin. What is the function of the androgen? It stimulates and promotes spermatogenesis or sperm production and spermiogenesis or sperm growth. The hormone inhibin stops the release of GnRH and FSH, which will cause spermatogenesis to slow down. Hormones secreted by the female reproductive system. Like in male reproductive system, during puberty, the hypothalamus starts secreting GnRH. It travels to the anterior pituitary gland, which stimulates the secretion of the two important hormones. These are LH and FSH. These two hormones have separate functions and travel to the ovaries. FSH enters the ovaries to stimulate the development of follicles. The follicles secretes estrogen. What is the function of the estrogen? Assist in endometrium regrowth, calcium absorption, development of female secondary sex characteristics and sex drive. Here are some female secondary sex characteristics. Breast development, growth of underarm hair, widening of hips, and growth of pubic hair. Follicle cells produce the hormone inhibin, which stops FSH production. LH enters the ovaries to stimulate ovulation and development of corpus luteum. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone. What is the function of progesterone? It controls the development of endometrium during menstrual cycle and maintenance of uterus during pregnancy. If the egg is fertilized, the corpus luteum continues to secrete progesterone. Progesterone level rise to ensure no ovulation happen and the endometrium wall will not shed. If egg is not fertilized, the corpus luteum disintegrates. Progesterone level decrease, causing the endometrium to shed and menstrual bleeding to occur. Corpus luteum produces hormone progesterone, which stops LH production. During pregnancy, anterior pituitary gland produces prolactin to stimulate mammary gland for milk production after childbirth. Posterior pituitary gland produces oxytocin to stimulate the contraction of uterine muscle during labor. After pregnancy, posterior pituitary gland also produces oxytocin to stimulate milk letdown. By sucking at the breast, your baby triggers tiny nerve in nipple, causes the breast to push out or let down the milk. Hormone regulation in the male reproductive system. Hypothalamus secretes GnRH to stimulate pituitary gland to produce FSH and LH. LH enters the testes to stimulate interstitial cells to secrete testosterone. Testosterone is responsible for the development of male secondary sex characteristics. FSH enters the testes to stimulate the Sertoli cell to secrete androgen. Androgen and testosterone promote spermatogenesis. Hormone regulation in the female reproductive system. Hypothalamus secrete GnRH to stimulate the pituitary gland to produce FSH and LH. FSH enters the ovaries to stimulate the development of follicles to secrete estrogen. Estrogen is responsible for the development of female secondary sex characteristics. LH enters the ovaries to stimulate the development of corpus luteum to secrete progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone assist endometrium development. Always remember, hormones play an important role in both male and female reproductive system. The pituitary gland controls the function of both testes and the ovaries. These hormones keep the reproductive system properly functioning. The pituitary gland produces two hormones, FSH or follicle-stimulating hormones and LH or luteinizing hormones. Both males and females produce these kinds of hormones. FSH stimulates the production of androgen and sperm cells maturation in males, while LH stimulates the production of testosterone. FSH stimulates egg maturation and production of estrogen in females, while LH stimulates the production of progesterone. Estrogen is a group of steroid hormones produced by the ovaries that trigger the development of secondary sex characteristics in females. The pituitary gland also produces prolactin, which stimulates milk production after childbirth, and oxytocin, which stimulates milk letdown during sucking. My references are the following. That ends our lesson for today. Thank you for tuning in. See you again next time for another scientific lesson. Always remember, science is not just amazing, it is fun. Again, this is Teacher Chen. Bye!